Hello, my friend, and welcome back to another Mama's Partnering with God podcast. I am so excited that you have tuned in for another episode this week, as we are going to be talking about time and money and the power that we have given it. Dun dun dun. Oh man, it's so crazy how such small things can have so much power over us. And that's something that we're going to be digging into a little deeper further on in this podcast. So grab a hold of your seats today, ladies, because it's going to get a little bumpy. Welcome to the Mama's Partnering with God podcast. I am your host, Molly Benell, mom, wife, and Jesus lover. And this is where we tackle life struggles with the help and guidance from God. In this podcast, you will find God-led solutions through partnering with God in your life. My mission is to equip you with the tools that will bring you closer to God, allowing you to find faith, hope, and peace so that you can tackle marriage, motherhood, and finances with ease. It can be so easy to let the world run your life, but what do you get from that? Pain, heartache, struggle? But with God as your solution and creating a God-led lifestyle, hope, joy, and peace are just knocking at your door. So, if you're ready to finally team up with God, doing things in His strength instead of your own, you better turn that Mickey Mouse on for your kids and plug in those headphones, Mama, so we can go partner with God. Alrighty, so before we dive too deep into this topic yet, I want to announce, and I'm super excited to announce this. It's something I have touched on in the past couple episodes, but it's finally here, and I'm super excited about it. Okay, so I am, like I said in the previous episodes, opening up some coaching spots. And I have decided that I would like to open 5 spots up for the first 5 mamas for free to come and coach with me on the topic of their choice, either in money or on time. And I'm super excited about this so that you can just start mastering your time and money. Get whatever it is that is difficult for you, that you struggle with, under control so that you can open yourself up for the growth that God has for you and step into the woman that He is wanting you to become, that you are wanting to become, and actually become that woman. So let's take that first step by getting some help. And like I said, the first 5 women who sign up, it's free, totally free, no strings attached or anything like that. And I'm super excited for it. The way that you can get these free spots is by emailing me. It's as simple as that. Just shoot me an email and we will set up a time. I will put my email in the show notes, and I will also have it in the free Facebook group if you would like to come and claim one of those free spots so that you can get yourself into a better position that you've always wanted to be in. So, okay. I could continue to talk about that because I'm just so excited to finally be able to offer this to you guys. And yeah, okay, let's dive into the actual topic of today, which is the power that we give time and money. Essentially, it controls our lives, and it's not a fun place to be. So, by the end of this episode, you should be able to see the power that time and money has on you and be able to figure out a way to release that power so that it no longer has control of your life and you have the power back and can move forward and grow, because just being stuck where you're at due to the time and money restraints that we have put on ourselves is not fun. And sometimes these restraints are put on us at a time of when we're young, because our parents always said that, hey, maybe we just don't have the money, or I don't have the time to do that. And so it's just something that we have adopted and brought on ourselves, and we don't exactly know why. So sometimes we need to just sit down and analyze that and really figure out why it is that we are saying those things and whether it's true or not. Okay. So I need to backtrack a little bit because I'm getting into the things to do to rid yourself of this power hungry time and money have over us. And when first we need to figure out why power and time, or why time and money have power over us. Man, I'm saying that backwards. And the main thing, if you look at it and you really sit down and answer the question, why do I say that I don't have the time? Why do I say that I don't have the money? And it all pretty much comes down to one thing. That one thing is fear. Yep, I said it. It's fear. Fear, it blurs our vision and it keeps us stuck where we're at. And instead of actually finding out the true thing behind our problem, we focus on something that isn't actually the problem. And we solve that issue instead of the true issue, because fear keeps us in a kind of state where we just can't see clearly. And when we say, I don't have the money, we have fear behind the fact that, well, maybe we truly don't have the money in our bank account. But most of the time, it's something related to the fact that we do have the money, but we don't want to spend it because, hey, maybe later on in the future, I'm going to need it for something more important. Or maybe later on down the line, I need to buy something for my kids. I mean, we can continue to make up these excuses on, and maybe some of them are true. Maybe you do need to have more of a priority towards saving your money rather than spending it, but that's something you have to sit down and really think about. Now, on the other hand, with time, when we say I don't have the time, we're pretty much saying that it's not a priority. We're saying that it's not important to us, even if it is something that is extremely important to us. We still end up saying that we don't have the time to do it because we are, like I said earlier, focusing on something that is less important to us, but it is a busy item that needs done, and we think it needs done, and it's more important. I'm trying to think of something that I could explain this as. Maybe like spending time with God. We say, well, I don't have the time to sit down and read the Bible. Well, there are other things you can do, or you can just actually make time, because by saying you don't have the time, you're saying that God isn't as important to me as I say he is, because I'm not actually making time for him. And this kind of hits me hard because here lately I have been struggling with journaling as much as I did before I had my daughter. And I'm essentially saying that I am not making time for God, so he's not important to me, when he really is, and I just need to make time. So instead of making excuses and saying I don't have the time, I need to be looking at what it is that I'm doing on a daily basis. What am I doing that is busy work, that actually isn't important, that actually doesn't need to be done? And I can take that out of my schedule and actually spend time with God like I should be doing. And it's the same thing with anything out there. If it's something that's truly important to you, you will look at what it is that you're doing and you will make time for it, or else it's not important to you. And I know that is so shocking to hear you say it, like thinking that by saying I don't have the time actually means it's not important to me is a total mind shifter. Like, it's crazy. When I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true though. It was shocking, but it was something I needed to hear. And because of fear being the reason behind this whole power situation that time and money have over us, it's something that we can fix. I mean, it's not going to be easy because this is a mindset issue. And sometimes when we sit down and we have to think about what it is we're doing and why we're doing it, it can be stressful. It can be overwhelming to actually dig down and figure out what it is that we fear, what it is that is actually keeping us stuck. But it is so powerful. It is so important to do so that we can move on, so that we can grow. Because like I said before, the time and money are just kindergarten level in the kingdom. Like, that is why it's so important to master your time and money so that you can grow. God's not going to give you more if you're not able to master time, if you're not able to master money, because all it's going to do is overwhelm you. It's not that he doesn't want you to have whatever it is that you're wanting, or to give you more responsibility so that you can show up more and build his kingdom more, whatever it is that you are trying to do with your life and becoming the woman that God has destined you to become. But it's the fact that if he does give it to you, you're not going to be able to do it as well as if you were ready for it, because you're not ready for it. You don't know how to manage your time, how to manage your money, and that's keeping you stuck because they have power over you. And whatever it is that God gives you to do, you're not going to have the time to do it. You're not going to have the money to do it because of the power that time and money have over you. And it's so powerful that this is such a thing. It's something that we have to get our minds in the right place so that we can even start this process. That's why the last episode we talked about the 3 areas that we need to declutter so that we can even prepare ourselves for even this right here. Like, it's the first step in anything you do. If you want to grow, if you want to learn something, you have to clear your mind. You have to clear your areas of just the clutter and the junk that just keeps popping into your brain. If it's physical, if it's mental, if it's social, all those spaces can be so time consuming and keep your mind under, I guess attack. That's not really the right word, but it keeps us from being able to move forward. And that's the same thing that by this fear that we have, that we, by giving, I'm struggling over what I'm trying to say. Getting a little tongue twisted. Okay, let's rewind. Let's try this again. The fear that is powering the power that we give time and money is keeping us stuck. It's keeping us from moving forward, and it's the next step that we need to take in order to be able to grow into that woman that God wants us to become. So, with that being said, after that big tongue twister of what just happened back there, let's jump into what it is that we can do to take our mindset back, to take that power back, and to not allow time and money to control our minds, to not be thinking, I don't have the time, to not be thinking, I don't have the money, to not allow those thoughts that maybe it is a legit thought. Maybe you really don't have the time because you've got so much going on, but it's also, there's a different answer to it. It's not, I don't have the time. It's not, I don't have the money. It's maybe, I have so much on my plate right now, I cannot take that on. Another thing will just overwhelm me. It means the same thing, that you don't have the time, but you're saying that in a better way that actually makes sense and it doesn't give power to time. And maybe you say, well, I didn't budget it in. I didn't budget it in my budget. That's a mouthful. But I didn't budget this in, so I can't do it this go around. Maybe we do it next go around when I'm able to budget it in, because my money is already spent in other locations. And then you aren't saying no, you're just saying in another time when it's feasible, when it's not like oh my gosh, you threw this at me, I don't know where this money's going to come from kind of thing. That tends to happen a lot at my house. But it's so true. Just the way you say something. Change the way, change the why. Figure out why you are saying that. What is the true answer, the true problem behind your I don't have the time, behind your I don't have the money? Find that, and you take the power away from time and money, because it's no longer just a, oh, I don't have the time. Oh, I don't have the money. It's a legit thing that you are working around, that you will try to figure it out in a different way, and then time and money don't have that power over you. It's so awesome just how changing a word here or there will give you freedom. Try it. Trust me, you'll like it. But to take back the power is also by, like, get rid of that fear is another main big thing to do, because fear is not of the Father. It's not something that God gives you. God does not give you fear. That's something of the world. That's something of the devil. He's not going to make you thrive in that fear. Yes, sometimes fear pushes you forward, but it's not something from God, and He's not going to make something you do fearful. He's going to give you the courage. He's going to give you the strength, and it's not going to feel scary if you do it with Him. That's why we partner with God. That's why we ask Him for His strength, for His courage, for His wisdom. And He is so willing to give it to us. And all you have to do is ask. You just have to ask, and He will gladly hand it over. That's how amazing our Father is. And I love it. It's wonderful. There are multiple podcasts that I'm like, I'm not exactly sure how to get this point across, Lord. Please just speak through me. Use my voice, use my words to touch the women that are going to listen to this episode and maybe make an impact, or tell them something that they didn't know they needed to hear. And it's so amazing how smooth and just powerful these messages come out, because it's not in my strength. It's in God's strength. And yes, I would normally be fearful, but I'm not, because I sit down and I ask God to take that fear away and give me the courage that I need, and the wisdom and the knowledge. And I feel like I'm a broken record saying the same things over and over again, but it's so amazing to watch what it is that God does through me. So take that fear away. Give it to the Lord. Give it to God, and let Him be your strength. Let Him be your courage. Find the true problem behind the power, behind the why, like I said earlier, and find the true answers. So you're not focused on no, I just can't do that. It's as simple as that. Bonus tip, sometimes it can be really deeply rooted. So if you really, really, really want to analyze it and get deep and figure out why you truly have the belief behind I don't have the money and I don't have the time, dig into your childhood, dig into your past, and find out where that belief is rooted. Because if you tell yourself something, I don't know how many times it is, but a certain amount of times you tell yourself the same thing over and over and over again, it becomes a belief. It's not just a statement of something you're saying, it becomes a belief. And then it's stuck and it stays with you. And every time that situation comes up like that, it's similar, you revert right back to that belief, and you just instantly say, I don't have the time, or you instantly say, I don't have the money. And it's that belief that you have to break in order to be able to rid yourself of the fear and rid yourself of the power that time and money have over you. Man, that was a deep one. It kind of had a lot of information in there, so don't try to do all these things at once. I suggest pick one and then continue to work on these so that you aren't overwhelming yourself, because working on the mental game can be a struggle. It can be overwhelming, and it can be just stressful to no other. So definitely pick one of these. maybe you just start with the why. You start answering, why am I doing this? And you only go so deep as you want to. I've been told one time, ask yourself why 7 times in a row. So why do I say this? Answer it. Then say why to your answer. Answer that. Then say why to that next answer. And just go 7 times and you'll get really deep into what it is that you are thinking and why you're thinking that way. And definitely always go to the Father. Always go to God. Ask Him for His strength, for His courage. And if you need help with finding courage in the Bible, you can always Google it. When I am currently reading, I believe it's the book of Daniel. It is chock full of courage and leaning on God. So if you need any examples on that, definitely go read the book of Daniel. It's got the story, if you remember this, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It's also got Daniel in the lion's den, and I'm sure there are many more. I just haven't gotten completely through it, but those are 2 big stories that I'm sure you would know. If you don't, read it. They're awesome stories. All right, so that is the end of this episode. Before you head off, I definitely want to invite you to come and join me over in the Mamas Partnering with God Facebook group. And don't forget that I have opened up 5 spots for the first 5 mamas who want to come and get some free coaching on whatever topic you want to talk about related to time or money, so that we can get you mastering your time and your money, and you can grow into the woman that God has destined you to be. I am super excited. I am grateful for you tuning in, and I hope and pray that you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye. Hey Mama, before you head out, if this episode has blessed you in any way, would you please go and leave a written review over on Apple Podcasts so that it can reach, bless, and impact many other mamas the way it has you? I also want to personally invite you to come and join me and many other like-minded mamas over in my free Facebook group. I would love to hear your thoughts, answer your questions, and keep this conversation going. Praying God continues to bless you. See you next time.